Hello friends, Namaskar. Myself is Dr. Jinesh Suni. I am an advocate and a corporate lawyer. Today we will discuss about section 497 of Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita, which is part and parcel of chapter number 36. Apart from that, we must understand that there are certain cases where the concerned police attach the property on ground that the property is entirely indulged in the commission of crime. In that scenario, how to retain the property, how it is to be disposed of, there are certain guidelines which is to be complied with, for which previously we were having section 451 of CRPC, but right now we are having section 497 of BE and SS. So each and every word is quite important. We have to understand the topic from theoretical point of view so that we are having any concern. We could easily contest the case without any worry or panic. If you want to really update your information, I request all of you to maintain the proper notebook with pen or pencil and please emphasize on each and every word. Section 497 is basically concerned for the order for custody and disposal of property pending trial in certain cases. But I want to clarify that if it is concerned with the conclusion of trial, for that we have to study section 498 of BNSS. But right now we are emphasizing on those cases which are concerned with pendency of trial or other proceeding under the BNSS. Basically in section 497 there are 5 rules and we have to understand each of them step by step. So first of all we have to narrate rule number 1. Basically the rule says that when any property is produced before any criminal court, for example, this is a property, if attached, definitely it will be produced before a criminal court or the court of magistrate. The magistrate who is totally empowered by law to take cognizance of the case or to commit the case for trial. And if the property is produced before such criminal court or magistrate during the course of investigation, inquiry or trial, such court or magistrate may make such order as think fit for the proper custody of property pending the conclusion of investigation, inquiry or trial. For example, the direction could be given to keep the property in Malkhana. To be noted that there might be a possibility that the property might be subjected to speedy and natural decay. In that scenario, if the circumstances on the record requires that the expedient proceeding is to be done, the court of magistrate, after recording the reasons, if thinks fit, makes an order that the property is to be sold or otherwise to be disposed of accordingly. For example, section 6A of Essential Commodity Act is an important example to understand section 497 subclause 1 of PNSS. And apart from that, there is an explanation in which it is specified that for the purpose of this section, property includes the property of any kind of document which is produced before the court or which is in the custody of court. And clause number B says that any property relating with an offence appears to be indulged in the commission of crime, or it appears that by using it the crime has been committed. In that scenario, it would be property with the meaning of section 497 of BENSS. I want to clarify that we have to read that section in light of section 18A of PC Act, because sometime in PC Act cases our mobile phone are inter alia attached. In that scenario, we can make a plea that the battery in the mobile might be deteriorated. It is subjected to a decay. In that scenario, it is easier for us to have the order. In addition to this, we may specify that it is not indulged in the commission of crime. It never used in commission of crime. And apart from that, it has no connection with the crime, and that's why it is to be released. So basically, if you are a client in cases concerning the Prevention of Corruption Act, you have to emphasize on section 18A of PC Act, and apart from that, on section 497 subclause 1 of BNSS. That is quite important for us. Now we are coming on rule number 2. It is called basically a limitation. The time period within which the application is to be disposed of. It simply says the court or magistrate shall, it is shall not may, within a period of 14 days from production of property referred in subsection 1. Before it, what he has to do, prepare the statement of such property. Basically, it is called inventory, containing the description of property. It must be in such format, it must be in such a manner as prescribed by the state government by rules. But to be noted that even though it is not in the proper format and manner, the proceeding would not be shared. For which we have to study section 506 of BNSS. To be noted that rule number 3 simply says the court or the magistrate shall cause the photograph is to be taken. Apart from that, videography may be done by using the mobile phone or the electronic media concerning the property referred in subclause number 1 or subsection 1. Now we are coming on rule number 4 that simply says the statement prepared as per subsection 2 and the photographs or videographs taken as per subsection 3 shall be used as evidence in an inquiry, trial or other proceeding under BNSS. And the last rule, that is rule number 5, merely says the magistrate or the concerned court shall, within a period of 30 days after the statement has been prepared under subsection 2 and the photograph or the videograph has been taken as per subsection 3, order the disposal, destruction, confiscation or delivery of the property in the manner specified. So basically we could say that at the inception the efforts is to be done is to preserve the property. If it is not possible, the order is to be made for disposal. And disposal means destruction, confiscation and delivery of the property in the manner provided. So basically the said section is quite helpful in the cases where the concerned property might be subjected to speedy decay. In that scenario, you may emphasize on section 497 subclause 1 of BNSS. While moving the application, we have to emphasize on 4 important points. Number 1, the attachment is illegal. And apart from that, there is no compliance of section 105, 185 of BNSS. We have to specify in the application. Apart from that, we have to specify that the concerned article is having no connection with the alleged crime. Number 3, investigation is done. It is over. There is no recovery now. And keeping the article for a long time would affect the potency of that device or the article because it might subject to speedy and natural decay. For example, a mobile phone might be deteriorated in case the battery is not charged on regular basis. And apart from that, you have to show the necessity of the said property so that the order could be made. For example, it is a mobile phone, it is seized. You may show that you are having multiple contacts in the said mobile phone, by the virtue of which you may communicate with your relative, with your family, friends, with your loved one, in absence of which your rights are going to be affected because right to have the interaction is also recognized. So my key point for submission is that while making the submissions, your pleading must be up to the mark as far as facts are concerned and legal compliances are concerned, so that we could have effective order on board in favor of the concerned accused. So I think that I inter alia caused all of you to understand the basis of chapter number 36 specifically in the light of section 497 of BNSS. In case you are having any query, feel free to write in the comment box. See you in the next video. Till then, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.